Hi, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Lynn at Ewetopia Farms. Today we're going to use the rest of the pie crust we made from our last recipe, the potato spinach pie, and we're going to make a quiche. To be precise, it's going to be a broccoli, mushroom, onion, ham quiche. So let's get started. You can tell I'm learning the cooking thing because cooking's not really my forte. It's just what people have been asking me for. And I notice I'm cooking this at dinner time and I've got pot lights and the lighting is really bad. So in future videos, we'll work that out. But for now, I've got all the ingredients for the quiche laid out. First off, we have the pie crust, which has been sitting in the fridge for a few days, just wrapped in saran wrap. We made a double batch last time we made the potato spinach pie, and this was the leftover. So with that, we're going to make the quiche. It's going to be a single crust pastry, and you don't have to cook it. You just have to put it in the bottom of the pie plate. So we're going to roll that out with some flour, and we'll show you that. And for the ingredients, we've got 4 eggs, a cup of milk, some rosemary ham, some broccoli, chopped up onions, some sliced mushrooms, and some sliced tomatoes to go on top. And usually I use grated cheddar cheese, but I have grated nacho cheese today. And we've got some spices. We've got garlic and herb, salt, pepper, paprika, and parsley. So we've got all the makings for a wonderful quiche. We've got our oven heating up to 375 degrees right now. And we've got a pan on because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cook the chopped onions and the mushrooms. And while they're cooking, we're going to put the broccoli in the microwave. I've got a dollop of butter in there. And we're going to zap that until the broccoli's tender, but not really limp, just tender. So let's get that going. Like I say, excuse me for the pot lights that are putting terrible glare on everything. So I don't know, maybe this won't get published if it doesn't turn out. But we're going to put a plop of butter into the pan here, and we're going to just get that going. So we put a plop of butter into the pan to melt. This is just one quiche for 2 people, so it could feed 4 as well if you had people over and we're having a lunch or something. But Arnie and I will usually eat it in 2 settings because it stays well in the fridge for a day or 2. Next, we're going to add the mushrooms. And as you'll find out, I don't do measurements. So basically the onion was half an onion chopped up, and I had 4 little mushrooms left over. So I sliced them up as well. And we're just going to cook them until the onions are translucent and the mushrooms are basically cooked. In the meantime, I've got the broccoli in a microwave dish. I'm going to stick that in the microwave for about 3 minutes while this is cooking up. And while all that's going, I guess we can roll out the pastry dough. Hopefully it'll work like it did last time. We got it here. This is the trick that I use for rolling out pastry dough because it always used to be a hard thing for me to transfer the pastry over to a pie plate. It was forever sticking. And it would stick to the roller, it would stick to the counter or whatever surface I was using. And now I put wax paper underneath with just a light dusting of flour. And then I'll take a piece of saran wrap and cover that over as well. And then I'll start rolling. Start in the middle and work your way out and around. Some people just put them in the fridge as a ball, the pastry, but I find it's way easier to roll out if you put it in more like the shape of a puck, a hockey puck. And when it starts to crack around the edges, you kind of gather it up, but because the saran wrap's there, you don't get your hands all mucky. And see, nothing stuck to the rolling pin either. Probably everyone does that, but for me it was a new thing I discovered. And I thought it was groundbreaking. My kitchen island is very small, so it's hard for me to roll it out without moving it around all the time. And I like it thin. And this pie crust, if you didn't see the potato spinach pie one, just a regular Crisco crust, but I add ingredients to make it kind of more like a zesty pie crust. So there's Parmesan cheese in there. Again, just maybe 2 tablespoons, some parsley and other spices, just to give it a more zesty flavor. And it fits. See, my hands are still clean. And so is my roller. First, peel off the saran wrap. There we go. And then you just press it in to fit. And gently pull off the wax paper. Pretty well works every time. So there's basically no cleanup. And in a house where you're the dishwasher, no cleanup's a bonus. So we just trim the edges out. Some people flute it and do all that stuff, but this is just as good. So it's been about a minute, and the onions and the mushrooms are basically done. So I've turned the heat off and I'm gonna dice up the rosemary ham just into little bite-sized pieces. Today I'm using 3 slices of ham. As you can see, I don't have fancy knives or any cooking skills whatsoever. I was not trained or taught by anyone, including my mother. So, if I can do it, anyone can do it. We've got the ham diced up, and I'm gonna add that to the onion and mushroom mixture in the pan, just to heat it up. Okay, we got the broccoli out of the microwave. 3 minutes was enough. I've got the broccoli pieces in bite-sized pieces, not too large. And I guess you'd call them al dente. So they're not super soft, but they're not crunchy either. And those we're gonna add to the mushroom, onion, ham mixture as well. Okay, we got them in. We're just gonna toss them around in there. So we got a nice uniform mixture of all the ingredients. I don't have the heat on anymore. I'm just mixing it up, so like I say, it's all ready to go. While that's stewing, we'll prepare, while it's sitting there cooling, I'm gonna turn that off. We're gonna put the egg mixture together. So as in most recipes, you do dry ingredients all together and wet ingredients together. These are the wet ingredients.
What you building, huh? You hit it?
A quiche. So to the eggs, we're gonna add all the wet ingredients, which is the milk and the eggs. We're gonna also add our spices, which include a pinch of paprika, maybe a little bit more. I'd say that's about 2 tablespoons of parsley. Put in what you think you like. Some pepper. A dash of salt. And then we're gonna just mix that all together. Doesn't take much to mix it. So to that you're going to add half a cup of grated cheddar. I've got grated nacho cheese, but it's basically the same thing. It's just got a little bit of spicing with it and a little bit of mozzarella as well. But any type of grated cheese will do, whatever your favorite is. Then we're going to get the ham, mushrooms, onions, broccoli, which I've sprinkled with some seasoned garlic and herbs, and we're going to add that to the mixture here. You don't want to put it in so hot that the eggs cook. That's why I left it to cool. And that will be the filling of the quiche. Very, very simple. Sometimes I like to put a little sprinkling of mozzarella cheese on the bottom of the, well, on the top, I guess, of the crust. You don't prick this crust like you do a baked crust. This is an unbaked crust. And if you don't like making pie crusts, you can just buy one. You can get them in any grocery store. And now we just take the mixture and pour it in. Try distribute the ingredients evenly throughout it. Just leveling it off. And it basically comes to the top of the pie, like that. And to that, we take some thinly sliced tomatoes. These are ones that came out of our garden at Ewetopia Farms. There we go, good enough. Gonna bake this at 375 for 45 minutes. And the oven's ready. We've preheated it and we're gonna stick her in. So it's in, we're gonna cook that and we'll check on it when we're done. Time for a coffee. And it should be ready now. There it is. We're gonna take it out and eat. So when it comes out of the oven, when you want to know if it's ready, you kind of give it a little shake. You can poke it, but if you give it a little shake, if it wobbles, it's not ready.
Well, let's use this here.
Feels solid, eh?
Like cement.
Okay. Cement is good.
Do you want me to cut it, babe?
Yep, may as well cut it. Which, I didn't know which knife you wanted. The other one's thinner, eh?
Well, I don't know too much about it.
I'd cut it like right in four. Cut the whole thing in half.
Okay.
And is it solid in there?
Yeah, it's solid.
Okay. Because that's what you have to worry about with a quiche, that it's firmed up. So I let it cook and then I open the oven door and I let it sit in the oven but with it open and off for another 10 minutes just to make sure that it all firmed up. Is that side cut?
No, I cut it all.
Yes.
Gotta move that tomato over the I don't think the tomato will cut right.
Right. Yeah, if we had a sharper knife it would, but we don't have sharp knives.
I don't think you can cut a tomato then on something soft.
Okay, so
Take it out.
this is the hard part. First one's always the one where you could lose it. But the theory is, even if it breaks, want me to, that looks like it's stuck, Ernie. Uh-oh, could be disastrous. I'm tempted to turn it off.
Well, this should be a little bigger, but I'm going to try to take it out.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we go. Well, he got most of it. The first slice is always the hardest. You need to just put it like that.
Yeah,
Do you want the white one?
No. Now, there you go.
There we go. So, that's what it should look like. Looks like it all worked out perfectly. We want to give the mangled version of a taste. It might be too hot though. Make sure you blow on it. Uh-oh, did it fail?
Good. How many years have I known you then?
What?
How many years have I known you?
Like 20 years.
Haven't made a bad meal yet then. Why start now?
So it tasted good?
Really good, yes.
Okay, good. Because I'll tell you a secret. I forgot, I didn't have milk, and the ingredient is supposed to be milk. All I had was light cream.
Oh, I mean,
So I used that instead.
just make it rich
And
again.
I add a little bit of water in it. So I was a little afraid how it would turn out. But if you're missing ingredients, you can always adjust things. It's not like baking. Cooking is not made in stone. It's up for interpretation, and you can change the ingredients. But the basics of the idea of the quiche is the same. You can switch up all the things inside. You can make it vegetarian. You can put bacon instead of ham. You can take the meat out altogether.
Nice plate, see?
There you go. We're done. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.